Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, go check me out at Kimberly Rose Platt. I am on there a lot more active, doing videos every 2 weeks on YouTube. So today we're going to be talking about how to stay on track during the weekends, how to build up that consistency that most people struggle with, and 3 tips that I have for you in order to do this. And the biggest struggle I see with my clients and everyone else is that they're never consistent. They feel like they have to be either all in or all out, and they feel like they do really great and then they just can't stick with it. And I see this all the time. They find all these ways that they haven't been consistent, so they just come to me and they're just like, I was never consistent on this diet, and I did this work for 10 minutes and I need help, I'm just not good at it. And that's not the case. If you know anything about me, I'm all about building that lifestyle that's going to work for you, maintaining a place that you're happy with your body, you have a good relationship with food, you have a good relationship with yourself, and you have a good relationship with exercise. That is going to be the end goal, and the most important thing is your quality of life. So if you're not thinking about, if your primary focus is getting abs and your quality of life is in the shitter, then you need to check yourself. So the number one tip that I have for you is do not cut calories too low. I've seen this time and time again. You go on to the latest fad diet, whether that's keto, Whole30, whatever that is, you're too restrictive with your foods, and what happens? You do good all week, and then the weekend comes, and what happens? All of a sudden, it's like a cheat meal, or you're out to dinner and you have the bread basket and you're starving, you have a little bit of something, and then it becomes this free-for-all. And you might be going at like 1,200 calories all week, and the weekends come and you end up binging, overeating, over drinking, whatever that is for you, and then you end up actually either hitting maintenance, or you end up not losing any weight and gaining weight. So that is the biggest struggle. If you are not consistent with the energy that you're putting in your body each week, each day, you're going to start to see these things where you're all over the place, where you're starving. What happens on Monday morning? You're bloated, you feel like shit again, and you decide that you're going to restrict because you ate too much. Or maybe that next morning after a Friday night eating too much, Saturday morning you're like, I'm just going to skip my meal. I ate 500 calories over, so now I'm going to just try to cut that out on Saturday. And it just is this constant binge restrict cycle that ends up not getting you to your goals. So the second tip that I have for you to stay on track is that your weekdays should look like your weekends. This goes back to what I was talking about, but really focusing on the foods that you're eating. Even if you are trying to lose weight, you're just reducing portion sizes. You should never be eliminating things like carbohydrates, certain foods, or any of that, unless you have a strict allergy, or for some preference you do not prefer to eat meat or something along those lines. You should never be restricting certain foods. It's just gonna make you more obsessed. And the second I tell you you can't have donuts, all you're gonna want is donuts. So if you are struggling with this and then you keep on going through that cycle and you're like, well, I've given it a try, Kim, I've given it a try and it doesn't work, give it time. If you're not giving it enough time to let your body and your mind adapt to it, then you're not gonna get to the place that you want. And you can get to a place, in a healthy place, where you reduce fat, where you're building muscle, you're looking the way that you want to, without feeling obsessed. It is possible. I've done it. My clients have done it. I teach this. It's the responsible macros method that I do teach. And it's, first of all, you need to, like I said, clear up that mess in your head about the relationship with the food, the relationship with scale, all of that stuff. Unless you have a strict eating disorder, that's not something that's my specialty, but you can get to a place where you're healthier and happier than you've ever been before, and you have a good relationship and you're consistent. It's about building that lifestyle that you want to build, rather than trying to do it going to extremes. Extremes don't work. Don't do them, please. It's just like the worst thing possible. So the third thing is, again, I talked about this earlier, is that all or nothing mindset. I don't know how many people, and I've done this myself, the weekend would come and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna have a cheat meal, I'm gonna give myself a break, I was so good all week, and then I have that, and then it just is like this spiral, and it's like a tumbleweed of like, eating more and eating more. I have to get this food out of my house. Sunday rolls around, I have to eliminate every single thing in my house that may be bad. I am going sugar-free on Monday. I'm not eating this stuff. So on Monday, I have to make sure that I cut out everything in my diet. So I'm going to eat it all today because I'm never having it again. So if you do this, this is one of the biggest mistakes why you can't build a consistency. Going to extreme diets, cutting out stuff, going on a detox or a liquid diet or doing any of these things will not help you. And I know in the beginning it's hard because you're like, well, no, you don't understand. I've tried it before. And it's like, give it more time. I love tracking macros because it teaches people the portion sizes. It teaches them that they can actually eat more and still see results. And it allows them to see what maintenance is. And that's why one of the reasons why I do love macro tracking for a time period and for the right person, right? So it's a way to make sure that you let go of all that all or nothing. So it's like if you overate a little bit, you let it go. I'm gonna do a video on responsible macros and what that means to me and how to do that. So that is everything I wanted to cover today. The analogy that I love that I think Sohee Lee brought this up about the all or nothing mentality is something like your back left tire pops in your car, and what do? So you go ahead and you slash all of your tires. No, don't do that. At your next meal, you just pick back up. If you ate more than you expected, move on. Our bodies are okay with that. You may not see the progress that you wanted over the week, but you know what? You pick back up and you start at your very next meal. It's not about restricting or anything like that. These are ways to stay on track, especially when it comes to your nutrition, but also when it comes to weekends, because you want to make sure you're including the foods that you love every single day and just adjusting portion sizes. I'll talk in another video about carb cycling if that interests you, because that's one method that I use for my clients on a flexible approach to increasing calories on your weekends. As always, guys, thank you. I almost got up and turned this off, but I forgot to say thank you. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, go ahead to Kimberly Rose Platt.